You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Kiwi Liam Lawson will be a Red Bull racing driver for the 2025 Formula One season. The team officially confirmed late on Thursday night New Zealand time that he will partner four-time defending world champion Max Verstappen next year. That news came less than 24 hours after Red Bull announced they were parting ways with Mexican driver Sergio Perez. Motorsport analyst Eric Thompson is with us to run an eye over this and give us some deeper analysis. ET, this seemed more and more likely over the last sort of few weeks or so. Why would Red Bull have eventually chosen Liam Lawson over the other candidate, Yuki Sonoda?
Liam's just a better fit. And also, he's spent a lot of time in development with the Formula One car and loads and loads of time on the simulator. So, and he has a great rapport with his engineers. In fact, in a recent interview with one of his chief engineers, they said they really like Liam because he has a really good understanding of how things work. I mean, a lot of people understand how things work, but to be able to communicate that to your engineer to get the best out of a car is incredibly important at that level. Yuki Sonoda is a one-lap maestro. He is extraordinarily fast, but consistent, not really. You know, he's crashed in warm-up laps. He's sort of bent the car when there's been no need to, and he can get a bit lippy on the radio. And, well, Liam actually apologised for flipping the bird, but I think he'll be okay after that, Piney. But Yuki's a little bit, doesn't really get on that well with, you know, other people in the team, not badly, and also he doesn't have that ability Liam has always had of being able to have discussions with engineers to improve the car. And that's what Red Bull need, especially so, and where I think a few people are missing a trick or two, is that there's only one more year in that car. In 2026, it's a brand new car. They have a brand new engine, brand new everything. And they reckon Liam has the ability to adapt to the brand new car, maybe potentially even quicker than Max Verstappen.
Wow. Well, that is a high piece of praise. Well, let's talk about 2025 first of all. This is a very general question, ET. What does success look like for Liam next year? If we're talking before Christmas in 2025, which I'm sure we will, what would have had to have happened for Liam to call 2025 a success?
Regularly getting points for the Manufacturers' Championship. Red Bull aren't at the moment looking for him to win a title. You know, they've already got a four-time title winner. They're looking for somebody who can actually get points. You know, the points gap between Verstappen and Perez, I think, was 280-odd. That was more than the total of every other points differentiating every other team.
Wow.
Now, and you know that Red Bull dropped from leading the championship at the summer break, the Manufacturers' Championship I'm talking about, to third. That's tens upon tens of millions of US dollars in prize money out the door. So they'll be looking for Liam to be within 4 or 5 places of Verstappen and to constantly be picking up points. You know, if he can get on the podium, huge bonus. If he wins a race, hallelujah and praise the good Lord. But if he finishes regularly in the points, they'll be as happy as.
So just on that then, he'll still be able to aim for podiums. Team instructions won't prevent him from going as fast as he can and trying to finish as high up as he can?
No, not at all. I mean, as long as, you know, the golden rule, well, there's 2 golden rules actually, is 1, you do not crash into your teammate. That's a cardinal sin. And number 2, the thing that you really want to do, what every teammate wants to do, is beat his other teammate. And so if Liam gets the opportunity, you know, Max might be struggling in the car or the car set up or he's overcooked his tyres, yeah, they'll be just going like, go for it.
That's
but
great.
do not crash into him.
No, I think that's probably fair. I think that's probably a good golden rule. Inside that team, though, ET, there's no doubting the pecking order. Max Verstappen, 4-time defending world champion. Liam Lawson, the new kid on the block. How much Red Bull resource will be thrown Max Verstappen's way, and what would that mean for Liam Lawson?
What they'll do is they'll build the car for Max. But what's becoming more and more evident is Max and Liam actually get on, which is a really good sign. And even some people laugh a bit, but, you know, Max's dad, Jos Verstappen, can throw his toys out of the cot on a semi-regular basis, and he can cause a bit of grief internally. Well, he's come out and said, Jos Verstappen's come out and said he likes the cut of Liam's jib. He likes the way he'll be a good fit for the team. So, all those really important political dynamics are all aligned. So at least Christian Horner and Marco and the Red Bull board, aren't going to be worried about a massive clash. But also they say that Liam has put his hand up and said he wants to learn from Max, learn craft, learn racing, learn how to go super quick. But he likes a similar sort of car. So in a way, the two of them will be being able to develop that car in 2025, which is a huge bonus for the whole team.
Talk to me about 2026. You mentioned before a new car, a new engine. So will Liam be a part of that, or will he have to show in 2025 that he is worthy of being a part of 2026?
Oh, he'll have to do his bit in 2025, definitely. He can't, if he does a Perez and doesn't help the team get manufacturer's points, yes, he will be at risk. And we've all seen what Red Bull have been like. They've thrown young guys in there before. I think there was De Vries, Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly, to name just a couple. Even Brendan Hartley had a go in the team. So, they're ruthless, but Liam has a lot of what I would call soft skills that makes the team happy and confident they can develop him, and that he can grow within the team and be a really big support. And it's also the other thing is they'll be looking at is Max has sometimes said, if I get fined for swearing anymore or I have to do any of this, he said, I don't need this. He has a 4-time world championship. So if he decides to walk away, they've already got somebody in the team who they're developing. And in 2026, the cars will have a lot less downforce. And Liam and a couple of the other younger drivers in the category have driven cars with a lot less downforce than Formula One, so they're quite used to cars with very low downforce. So when the new car comes in 26, they actually think that, Liam will be positioned quite well, whereas Max may potentially struggle a little bit if they remove a whole lot of downforce.
How much will Liam Lawson's life change now, E.T.?
I think it probably changed palpably when he got the 6-race gig this year. I think that's when he knew, right, I'm not hanging on by my fingertips in this category. I've got a firm grip on that bar with two hands. And as long as I don't wreck the car, I'm fine. So now he's stepping up onto that platform. But now he's really got, a bit of a mountain to climb yet. Some people are saying, and I agree, that he's made it to base camp at Mount Everest. A lot of people can't get to base camp at Mount Everest. That's a long way up. Now he's got to keep going. So there's still another mountain but he's got all the right mental attitude. He's got the right mental attitude and aptitudes for it. He can develop. He wants to learn, and that's the thing he's always said. I'm just here to win, but I'm also here to learn. And that, as a team principal, that's all you really want to hear.
It's so interesting because you and I have chatted, and I remember thinking at the time that this was something that Liam would never be able to bring to the table. You talked about Sergio Perez and his huge Mexican backing and all those cans of Red Bull that can be sold in Mexico. Yuki Sonoda with the Japanese commercial backing and all of that. So clearly Red Bull have decided that what Liam brings, the soft skills, the ability to learn, the ability to develop, is more important than those things.
Yeah, and I think what made the decision a lot easier was Perez probably losing Red Bull more money by not collecting points than his sponsorship would have brought next year to the table. And they're just going in and Liam. And it's also they want to get back to investing in youth. They tried to bring Daniel Ricciardo in, but that didn't work. And they're just saying, look, we've got a junior development team. Let's get back to promoting our junior development drivers. They did it with Sebastian Vettel. They've done it with Max Verstappen. They've tried it with a couple of others. It hasn't worked. They do work on the principle of, how you and I probably not you, Piney, but me. I'm a bit older than you. We learned to swim with my mum and dad. I was literally, not figuratively, chucked into the pool and said, get to the side and you'll be okay. That's a Red Bull philosophy, is you chuck them in. And he's that's one thing Liam's got. He may not be the fastest guy on the track. He's no Oscar Piastri who won every category, he raced in, but he's a very astute young man. And that's what you need at that sport. You know, the technical ability to drive a car very, very fast. Most of us can do that if we spent most of our life doing it from the age of 7. But there's that last 2 to 3%. Like, I know you've talked about, I've listened to your show before, Piney, when you said at that elite level of sport, it's all in the top 2% of your head. And Liam's got that in spades.
Yeah, it seems like it. And just to finish on that, look, I've never met Liam Lawson, but I've seen a lot of him in media situations and in racing situations, and he just seems so unaffected by it all, so composed, so down to earth, so Kiwi, really. Is that actually the case? He is that authentic?
Yes, mate. I've been lucky enough to have been interviewing him since about 2016, maybe. And also when he went up to China in the F3 Championship up there, very articulate. He's a thinker, but he's not a deep thinker. You know, he gets lost and he just goes down his own rabbit holes. He knows what he wants, and he's quite single-minded, but in a really good way. Unless somebody's got a better option or a better idea or a better alternative, he has the confidence to go with what he thinks, but he's also got the ability to listen and go, okay, that one makes more sense. He handles the media very, very well, but mind you, he's been doing it for a long time. We tend to forget, although only at 22, he's been in the sport for over 10 years, you know, at quite an elite level. And he's got some good people around him, Grant McDonald, Dennis Martin, has helped him through. He's got a very supportive family. You know, all these, again, I keep talking about soft skills. And it's all this great support network around him. He doesn't have a dad that thinks he knows better than his son. You know, his dad hasn't tried to coach him. His family's made sure they put the right people around him to mentor him and to get him ready for everything. So now it's really, here's your chance. You got there, pull the pin and go for it.
What an exciting time for him, for his family, and for motorsport fans and sports fans here in New Zealand. ET 2025 is going to be quite the watch of Formula One for us all. Thanks so much for lending us your insight, your analysis, your expertise. Have a great Christmas, mate. We'll catch up in 2025.
Yeah, and same to you and your family and all your listeners too, mate. I hope they have a glorious Christmas New Year.
Yeah, I hope so too, ET. Eric Thompson there with some great insight into Liam Lawson and what success will look like for him next year, what he's up against.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.